What's up, you guys? This is Spillin' Tea with Chris G, and tonight we are at the Love and Hip Hop Atlanta Reunion 2. This is it. This is over. The finale. They're done for the season. I'm going to go over my top five highlights, and I'm going to go ahead and spill that tea for you. So let's go ahead and get started. So for my first highlight, that goes to Tammy Rivera. Now, Tammy was not in part one, but she is on part two, explaining how she moved out of the house from Waka Flocka Flame. And currently they are separated. Well, on the show they were separated, but she did not file for divorce. Recently, she was on The Breakfast Club, which is a radio show in New York with Waka Flocka Flame. It looked like they're working towards getting back together or are back together, but they're working on the relationship. And of course, Waka Flocka always sending love to Tammy on his Instagram. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to my second highlight. For this sit down, it was quite an interesting dynamic. So it was Kirk, Rashida, and Charlene, Rashida's mom, and then Momma Dee, Lil Scrappy, and Ernest were all having a sit down together, kind of going back over the season. Momma Dee admitted that the hay that she had took to Rashida's shop and put down as a bird's nest was from the dog park. Momma Dee is crazy. That was one of her secrets on there. But Charlene thought that Momma Dee was into voodoo because first it was the nest, then she had the feather when they were all sitting down at brunch between Charlene, Momma Dee, Ernest, and Deb and Rashida. I mean, Momma Dee was just pulling out all the stops. Then she had came with the will. So Charlene really did think Momma Dee was doing some sort of witchcraft, but Momma Dee said that, she's just crazy and bipolar, and that's just who she is in life. Of course, they did ask Scrappy, did he see the part with Momma Dee and Ernest getting a love on in the bed? And of course, little Scrappy said, no, I did not watch that. And a lot of the castmates said they could have done without that scene. Ernest, we did find out he does have an aneurysm. So that's why he was sick. He's still not in the best of health. However, Momma Dee is still sticking by his side and they are still working out their issues. So good for them. On to my third highlight. So the sit down we've all been waiting for. Karrie Redd and Lyfe Jennings. They did sit down together, and Dime Piece was also there as well. When Lyfe was asked how he felt about Karlie falling on the ground, he said that he wished she would have stayed on the ground. Girl, I'm sorry, but this part of the reunion was so funny. So Dime Piece had asked Lyfe as well what motivated him to buy that ring, but Karlie was making such a fuss. She didn't want him to answer like no questions. Like she was blocking all the questions. She started preaching in the middle of it. I mean, she just didn't want him to answer nothing. And I think because she didn't want Lyfe to really expose her. But when they first got into relationship, Lyfe said that he wanted an open relationship with Karlie. And Karlie agreed to it, apparently, seeing as on the show they were together. He also said that Karlie begged for him to sleep with her, which is kind of crazy, but it wouldn't be too far out of the way considering the timeline and the storyline that you need for the show. Also, Karrie Redd, she was, again, avoiding all the questions. She was saying how bad of a man he was, and when a man treats you like that, yada yada. Just avoiding the questions. So basically nothing from it had got resolved. Now they both were asked at the end if they would ever be friends, but Karlie said nothing, and Lyfe was like, oh well. However, they did mention that Lyfe was seeing someone while he was in a relationship with Karlie, and it was that girl that they showed from a few episodes back where she had showed the paternity test. He was saying she didn't know she was pregnant, but I think Lyfe did know that girl was pregnant. I mean, come on, son. I think he knew she was pregnant. Obviously, if you're not using protection, what do you think is going to happen? I think you were just with two women. Y'all was in an open relationship. She needed the storyline. It is what it is. So now Karrie Redd did admit that her and Jock are talking again. So we would have to go ahead and watch season 6 for that one. Stay tuned. Anyways, on to my fourth highlight. The second sit down that I've been waiting for is Mimi, Chris, and Ariane. Let me first start off by saying this. What was Ariane wearing on top of her head? Boy, she was trying out for either the Addams Family or the new Dracula movie. You need to throw a ponytail like I do on the back of it. Get some Coming to America. Get you some straight and silky. But that girl. Okay, so over my roast part. Chris and Mimi had a relationship earlier in the episodes prior. um, Chris, Mimi, and Arian had a sit down in the prior episodes where Chris had told Arian I'm sorry, identifies as male. So let me straighten that out. Arian was questioning Chris about it, but that's just what it is. And Chris told her, they talked about it, and Chris said, I felt like that you were questioning me, and you're supposed to be a part of the LGBTQ community, and everybody don't have funds to get surgery. So what I identify myself as male, and that's just what it is. And Arian was like, I didn't understand it, but I do have a personal vendetta against you. But don't get offended. Arian, I think you just wanted to get roasted, girl, because how could you tell me you have a vendetta against me, but you don't want me to get offended? Bruh, get out of here. Bruh. So Arian and Chris had got into it, and the funniest part, I did fall out like Karrie Redd did over her ring. When Chris told Arian to go get herself some edges, I was like, girl, bye. Yes, because what happened? If you gonna use a little wig, at least y'all could have put some little baby hairs down or something, but in any event, they were getting into it really tough. Chris told Arian to protect herself, and Arian was like, protect myself from what? So they both had got up, and Arian, of course, is towering over Chris, and Chris said, I got somebody for you, girl. Hold up. I got somebody for you. And Mimi, of course, is just sitting there like Rashida did her on the last episode of Love and Hip Hop when she got that drink thrown in her face by Joseline. She's just sitting there. So the host finally told Arian, can you please leave the room so I could talk to Chris and Mimi? Arian did not move out of the room, but she moved to the left. So Mimi and Chris had talked, and Mimi was questioned about Chris's new song. Now, Chris's song to me kind of brings Tribe Called Quest, kind of brings De La Soul. I'll go ahead and read a lyric for you guys so that way you kind of know what was in it. And of course, you can always catch her music on SoundCloud, but I thought the music was pretty dope. Let me pull the lyric for you. Okay, so it says, now I realized you wasn't even gay for me, only for TV, and when the public didn't see me, you went and got a typical, I believe, dyke. But she can't love you like a DID. I think it's like I instead of like a, but okay, whatever. I'm not an English teacher. But Chris said the only way that he could express himself was to go ahead and put it in a song artistically. But he also said that he did reality TV for Mimi. Mimi was like, no, you didn't. You did it to get on my, to jump on the train, but, whatever. At the end of the day, Chris was asked if he is ever going to go ahead and do reality TV again. And he said reality TV is too extra and he will never do it again. So you know who I'm going to talk about. Stevie J and Joseline. Now, Joseline is confirmed to be pregnant by the producers. The producer had went in the bathroom with her to make sure she had no pregnancy pee up in her purse just for a storyline. But no, it is true. She is pregnant. So the producer went outside, and the other male producer had went outside to go get Stevie, and he told him that, Joseline is pregnant. Stevie gonna ask him, what are we gonna do? And the producer was like, bruh, what are you gonna do? What you gonna do? I'm gonna go home to my family. I don't know what you about to do, but this is what I'm about to do. Boy, Stevie he made a donkey booty out of himself this whole entire season, and now he's really tripping. So he brings him into the room. Stevie and Joseline sit down. He sits next to her. And the producer, one of the other producers, had handed Stevie the pregnancy test. So they've been passing around this little pissy stick, the producer now to Stevie. Stevie looks at it. She's pregnant. The first thing he asks is, have you been with anybody else? I need y'all to be in private when you talk about these things, because come on now. And she's like, are you serious right now? Here you go again with the foolery. Stevie's like, well, I'm just asking. Can I ask you a question? She's like, well, I've been with other women, but you're the only man that I've been with. So Stevie said, you're not going to apologize. You both been making a fool out of each other on social media. So of course Stevie storms off because she doesn't want to apologize. The producer ran after him, brings him back into the room, and they started talking again. Stevie did say that they're never going to be together, and he's going to go ahead and let the lawyers handle the visitation rights. Joseline said that you don't need to be in the baby's life. They did both admit that they both were acting a fool on social media. Both of them were hurting each other. But at the end of the day, the girl's pregnant. Congratulations to Joseline. Hope everything works out. But we will be seeing this play out definitely on season 6. And of course, I'll always be watching social media for you guys for my 60-second tea. So anyways, let me go ahead and spill some hot tea for you guys. Let's get it popping. So let's go ahead and get to sipping. So restraining orders was a big deal on the 11 Hip Hop reunion. Of course, Tommy and Joseline. Joseline filed a restraining order against Tommy. Stevie J filed a restraining order against Joseline. Past people that were on the show, Benzino and Althea, have a restraining order against each other. And Karrie Redd recently got a restraining order put against her from someone that she was with. It looks like he was a club promoter, according to TMZ. She ran into the bathroom with the man's phone and threatened to flush it down the toilet. By the time he got into the bathroom, Karrie Redd was gone, but the phones and stuff was still there. Girl, come on now. You really too old for that. Like, you BC old for that. Like, you Greek Athens old for that. I mean, you can't just be doing stuff like that. But anyways, speaking of Karrie Redd, she also has a beef on the gram with Lyfe Jennings. So Karrie Redd was pictured with a Porsche, saying that she had received it as a gift because that's what a real man does for a real woman, is gift them Porsches. So I need to find me a real man like that, because I need a Bentley outside anytime now. But anyways, so Lyfe Jennings went on to his petty post and posted a picture with him and his children and said, but she don't know what real love is. So basically they were going back and forth on the gram, battling it out. But we'll probably see some of that too in season 6, because that storyline. I'm telling you one thing, Karrie Redd know how to keep that check now. I'm telling you that right now. She know how to keep a check. Did anybody catch Tia Becca's outfit on this reunion? Girl, what you about to do? You about to be in Drumline 3. She was about to go ahead and audition for the Dancing Dolls, because her outfit looked just like what they be out wearing. I was shocked, because I'm like, Tia Becca, your body, like, you have such a nice body. Like, I thought she was going to be in like a really cute dress or something. No, she showed up as a majorette, girl. Girl, stop. Also, Tommy had showed on her Instagram that she's having some issues. She's battling some things in her life right now. She did show a picture of her outside of it looks like a rehab center, maybe rehabilitation or therapy and counseling center. So happy for her. I'm glad that she is getting the help that she needs. Anyways, that is it for you guys for the Love and Hip Hop Atlanta series. So I will be back for season 6. However, Love and Hip Hop Hollywood will be back on August 15th, and I am definitely excited about that. So you'll see me then. That is it. Make sure you guys subscribe,